Have you ever wondered how artificial intelligence produces text? It seems like magic, doesn't it? Artificial intelligence, or AI as it's often called, is an area of computer science that emphasizes the creation of intelligent machines that work and react like humans. In our daily lives, we encounter AI more often than we realize. It's there when we ask Siri for the weather forecast, when Netflix recommends a movie based on our viewing habits, or when we get targeted ads on social media. Yet one of the most fascinating applications of AI is its ability to generate text that's almost indistinguishable from that written by a human. Imagine a machine that can write poetry, pen novels, or even write this very script you're listening to. Incredible, isn't it? But how does it do it? How does it understand the nuances of language, the context, and the tone? How does it pick the right words and arrange them in a way that makes sense to us humans? Well, AI text generation is not a simple process. It's a complex blend of linguistics, computer science, and mathematics. It's about understanding the patterns in language, the relationships between words and phrases, and the rules that govern their use. The goal of AI in this field is not just to mimic human writing but to understand and replicate the thought process behind it. This is why AI text generation is used in a wide range of applications, from auto-completing your sentences in emails to creating entire articles or reports from scratch. And while it's true that AI-generated text might lack the emotional depth or creative flair of human writing, it's getting better and better at it. Every day, AI is learning, evolving, and improving, getting closer to the day when it can produce text that's as good as, if not better than, human-written text. The wonder of AI text generation lies in its potential. It's not just about creating text, it's about revolutionizing the way we communicate, the way we create, and the way we understand language. To unravel this mystery, you need to understand the process behind AI text generation. The magic of AI text generation starts with something we call a model. Now, what exactly is a model in AI? Think of it as a digital brain of sorts designed to mimic our human ability to understand and generate text. This digital brain doesn't come pre-loaded with knowledge. Instead, it learns from data, much like a child learns from observing the world around them. Let's delve a bit deeper. Every AI model at its core is a complex algorithm that's built to learn patterns. These patterns are derived from what we call training data. In the context of text generation, this training data is typically a massive collection of text, from books, websites, articles, and more. The model reads this text, or rather, it processes this data, learning the intricacies of language along the way. Consider it like this. If you were to teach a child new words, you'd probably start with a picture book, pointing out objects and naming them. The child observes, listens, and begins to associate words with objects, slowly building their vocabulary. An AI model, in a similar vein, learns by observing patterns in the data it's provided. It doesn't understand language the way we do, but it recognizes patterns and uses these patterns to generate new text. Now, the model doesn't just memorize the training data. That wouldn't be very useful, would it? Instead, it learns the underlying structure and grammar of the language. It learns that sentences often start with a capital letter, that they usually end with a period, and that words have certain typical arrangements. It learns the rhythm of language, the ebb and flow of conversation, the nuances of written text. So, the model is not just a passive receptacle of data, it's an active learner, constantly updating its knowledge based on the data it's fed. And the more diverse and comprehensive the training data, the better the model gets at generating text that's coherent, engaging, and surprisingly human-like. So, in essence, the model is learning language patterns from the data it has been fed. Now that we have a trained model, how does it create new text? Well, algorithms play a crucial role in text generation. An algorithm, in the simplest terms, is a set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations. It's like a recipe that tells the AI what ingredients to use, and how to use them to whip up a tasty sentence or paragraph. In the context of AI text generation, the algorithm first looks at the seed text or the prompt given. This is the starting point from which it will generate new text. The model then evaluates the likelihood of each word in its vocabulary following the seed text. It does this by looking at patterns in the data it was trained on. For instance, if the seed text is, "the cat sat on the," there's a high probability the next word will be mat or roof or chair. The model assigns a probability score to each possible word based on the patterns it has learned. This process is repeated for each new word the model generates, with the context constantly updated with the new words. It's like the model is constantly predicting the next word in a sentence, using the words it has already generated as context, and it doesn't stop there. The model also considers various factors like grammar, syntax, and even the style of the text to make its predictions more accurate. So, the AI is essentially playing a game of probabilities to generate coherent and meaningful text. With all this talk of models, algorithms, and probabilities, you might think text generation is purely a science. But there's an art to it as well. Now you might be wondering, where does the art come in? It's hidden in the nuances of language. While the science part is about creating grammatically correct sentences, the art lies in making these sentences contextually relevant and meaningful. Imagine a painting. The science is the canvas, the brushes, and the colors. But the art? That's the vision of the artist, the strokes they choose, the way they blend the colors. The same goes for AI text generation. The algorithms and models are the tools, but the art is in how these tools are used to create something meaningful. One of the biggest challenges in AI text generation is ensuring that generated text doesn't just make sense grammatically, but also fits well within the context it's intended for. It's about striking a balance between being literal and being creative. It's about understanding human language patterns, the way we use metaphors, idioms, and cultural references. It's about making a machine understand the difference between a cold person and a cold day. So, AI text generation is not just about crunching numbers, it's also about understanding and replicating human language patterns.